Do you guys ever feel like you're the only person on Earth who feels a certain way? Like you aren't crazy, but it's the world that's gone mad? That's what I wanted to talk about today. I know this is going to be a weird personal video, and I might just be insane, but fuck it, it's my YouTube channel, I can talk about what I want. I just watched The Backrooms, and I've finally been able to verbalize this feeling that's been gnawing inside of me for a long time. The Global Village coffee house art style creeps me the fuck out. I know this has nothing to do with anything, but I just watched The Backrooms, and I think the idea of spaces themselves being horror villains is on the minds of a lot of people. Also, with the revival of late 90s, early 2000s nostalgia, I've been seeing a lot of people actually romanticize and reminisce about this particular aesthetic, calling it things like cozy, comforting, and warm. But to me, it's always been uncanny, inhuman, and unsettling. I remember growing up, my mom would take me shopping with her at the Wegmans in Woodbridge, New Jersey, and sometimes we would get a sandwich and we would eat it up in the dining area on the second floor. We always got olives on the sandwich because my sister liked them even though I hated them, and the guy would never just put olives on one half of the sandwich, and my mom wouldn't let me pick them out because she said my hands were dirty. Anyway, we always sat under this one painting on the wall. It was a faceless baker posed in an unnatural backwards arch, putting dough into a raging wood fire oven. Whether an artistic choice or a quirk of the shading, the chef only had one facial feature, and that was a slight, subtle frown. Like he knew his shift would never end, and the buns would never be baked. The flames encompassed the whole frame, revealing an endless, dark, swirling vortex behind the purgatorial pastry chef, where nothing exists outside of its hellish artisanal sourdoughs. I ate the olives in silence. I thought this art style was vanquished when corporate interests took over third-place cafes, replacing coziness with minimalism, and touchscreen kiosks replaced human cashiers. Lately, I've been seeing a resurgence for these early 2000s maximalist art styles like Fruitiger Arrow and Global Village Coffee House. Now, my childhood horrors have returned 27 years later, like it coming back to Derry, Maine to feed.
Do they float?
Oh, yes. They float.
People really seem to yearn for this art style to come back. I've seen Reddit posts and TikToks of people recounting their teenage years hanging out in Starbucks or Panera Bread back when malls were the place for kids to make memories. People yearn for comfy chairs and bread bowls. Global Village Coffee House was the art style that defines this feeling, but not for me. I saw them as hellish landscapes, populated by beings that were almost human, but not quite. They looked like us and they acted like us, carrying out quaint, idealized human tasks like carrying a bag of groceries with a baguette sticking out of it, but there was also something unnatural about it. The figures weren't human, they were simulacrums of humans, like people from memories of a dream, where no one has a face.
I just want you to stop saying odd shit, like you smell a psychosphere or you're in someone's faded memory of a town. Just stop.
It presented a folksy, rustic, homemade appearance, hoping you wouldn't notice this coffee chain megacorporation didn't run your local coffee shop out of business. This art style to me feels like aliens trying to blend into human society. Yes, they're eating cake and making soup like friendly little villagers, but look closer and they start to melt into amorphous blobs. I suppose this may be a generational thing for some people, where this art style genuinely does harken back to a small, cozy, quirky coffee shop where your dream was to move to New York and live out your friend's fantasy with your all-white group of like-minded yuppie do-gooders. But for me, I have no nostalgic feeling for this art style. I have no memories of hanging out at Central Perk in the 90s or taking a date to a coffee shop. Eventually, this art style morphed into being used for corporate interests and tech branding, which is creepy in its own way. I had to spend a lot of time thinking about why Global Village Coffee House disturbs me so much, and I had to expose myself to a lot of its creepy art, so please leave a like and a comment so I can afford therapy. After spending a lot of time just staring at these different works of art, I think I finally found what's gnawing at me in the back of my mind when I look at them that I failed to put into words after so many years. As a kid, I used to spend a lot of time at the library just staring at computer programming how-to books that had these strange abstract covers on them that had nothing to do with the contents of the book. I used to wonder what these people did when they weren't posing for the covers of C# books or whatever. With my overactive child imagination, I used to get really sad and upset that these faceless cartoon people never got a break from their Atlas-like fate of holding up the world of modern telecommunication. The contrast of the earthy, farmer's market, handcrafted aesthetic mixed with the capitalistic intentions of advertising places this deep in the shadows of the uncanny valley for me, like a friendly face being revealed to be a mask for a malicious monster. There's an unsettling feeling of knowing the intention of this art is to be manipulative. Tech companies loved this art style in the late 90s and early 2000s for this exact purpose of appearing down to earth. Like, what does this mean? A man on a piggy bank. Yes, saving is good, having money is good, but should you ignore the endless sea of people drowning in debt, reaching out for relief that will never come? Should we leave them to suffer in poverty just because this is the way of the world? Does this make you want to buy Microsoft Excel? This artist is Rafael Lopez, whose work I think of in my mind whenever I do think about this style, and you probably do too. Now, a lot of his work, I do see the appeal, and they are genuinely comforting, warm, and beautiful. But seeing computers and business people enter the world of this man's art feels like an invasion or a violation, a corruption of a place that used to be pure, the change of what Panera Bread used to look like to what it is now. Sorry if this was a weird video, it's just been on my mind a lot lately, and they opened up a Wegmans in New York, and it reactivated my memory of that creepy chef, like the Manchurian Candidate or something. Does anyone relate to this at all? Let me know if you feel the same way, or if there's any art styles that creep you out in the comments, and I'll see you next time.
And by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.